like all the rest of us, are concerned about crime. The rising crime rate and the inability of the law enforcement officers to make arrests or get convictions because of the restrictions that have been put on these people. And what's the only constructive thing that the Democrats have been able to offer so far with regard to crime? Gun legislation. They got the citizen to register his weapon. And yet the United States Supreme Court on January 29th of this year ruled that you cannot ask a criminal to register his gun because it violates his constitutional right against self-incrimination. You have a great and a rare opportunity. I know that I'm talking to a great many Democrats and a great many former Democrats, and I am a former Democrat. But I want to tell you this. I'm sure you dream of the day, because we want a two-party system. You dream of the day when your party will be returned to the principles of Jefferson and Jackson. Well, there's only one way that can come about. At least temporarily, you've got to join us and throw the rascals out.
Yes, I will vote for cloture on Tuesday. Never in the history of the United States Senate have we ever filibustered an appointment to the Supreme Court. And I feel that the nomination should be voted up or down on its merits, and not delayed or filibustered. Every senator ought to have a chance to say whether he's for him or against him. I would estimate that Mr. Nixon will get 330 or even better electoral college votes, which is 60 more than he requires for just a majority. I think it would be a very, very strong sweep across the country, sufficient to bring in over the 30 required House seats to make Jerry Ford the Speaker of the House. And we're going to come within a hair's breadth, possibly, of having my great senior colleague, Everett McKinley Dirksen, become the majority leader of the Senate. By 70, if we keep the momentum up, and I think we will, we'll have both houses of Congress.
Do you think there's a chance for televised debates this year?
Not in the slightest.
Realizing that future growth of this department would necessitate a major reorganization, a survey was started about 5 months ago for this purpose. From this survey came recommendations which were approved by the City Council and the City Manager. We feel this reorganization will greatly increase the efficiency of the fire department and allow for anticipated future growth. Now the following will be implemented effective October the 1st, 1968. Now we have created 4 bureaus with an assistant chief in charge of each bureau, as before we had the 3 bureaus. Now some changes have been made in each of these bureaus as far as administration is concerned. In this reorganization too, we have a compression of ranks, where before we had numerous classifications that was causing some dissension in the department and some overlapping in grades. We have simplified the pay grade scales.
Will the time come in the near future when we will be able to put men on the moon whenever we want to, in a less hostile atmosphere?
If we continue a lunar exploration program and finance it, definitely. There's nothing to prevent it, and nothing technology-wise to prevent it.
What advantages will there be in that?
Well, I feel that the advantages of having the moon available as both a scientific outpost and, if you call, a touchstone in the solar system, to have it available for use when and as you wish it, are bound to turn out to be considerable.
Is there any real military value in the moon?
Let's say there is a negative military value in everything.
California Governor Ronald Reagan arrived in Dallas this morning to support gubernatorial candidate Paul Eggers. Only a crowd of about 500 people was on hand to meet the California governor for a short rally which was held at Dallas Love Field. This crowd was somewhat smaller than expected, but security was nevertheless tight. Eggers met Governor Reagan at the door of his private jet. Then Reagan proceeded down the front line of supporters, shaking hands. Governor Reagan was then taken to the speaker's stand, where Eggers gave him a Texas welcome.
Let's have a great Texas welcome for the great Governor of California, Ronald Reagan. Thank you. I don't know how to put a hat on. You now make him a Texan. Governor Reagan. Well, right side. Where's my card? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Let me just say one word. You will now hear from Tex Reagan.
Reagan devoted a small portion of his speech to Eggers, whom he was supporting. Following the rally, Murphy Martin talked with the former actor in a news conference.
Governor Reagan, we've heard a lot in recent days about a possible debate between Mr. Nixon and Mr. Humphrey. How do you feel about this? Do you feel Mr. Nixon should debate Mr. Humphrey?
I think here we're into the area of campaign strategy. And I think with Mr. Nixon as far out ahead as he apparently is, I don't see any reason why he should debate, why he should lend his presence to get an audience that Mr. Humphrey seems unable to attract for himself.
Following a short reception, Governor Reagan left for the Panhandle. At Dallas Love Field, this is Mike Moss, Channel 8 News.